The cloupor T5. Let's have a look. Alright, hey guys, welcome back. So up for review today is the cloupor T5. This is a variable wattage device using a 510 connection. We have the device being made of 6061 aluminum, which would be your outside casing, as well as a semi-clear tinted fog plexi in the front that will cover your OLED screen. Resistance lows and highs on this are all the way down to 0.2 ohms resistance, all the way up to 0.36. As well as it being a variable wattage device, this is an 18650 device. Now, do I have a 26650 battery? I do, and that is over here. Size comparison to a 26650 battery. I mean, maybe they could have gotten a 26650 battery in there, but this is an 18650 device. Now, inside the box of this device came a card. Now, I won't be showing the card, or maybe I can if I do something like this. So this is your card right here that came in with the kit on October 16th. Please go to cloupor.com with your PC. A big surprise will be waiting for you. Now, I think that the vaping Greek dropped the ball on this with cloupor information from cloupor that maybe possibly the surprise will be a update up to 100 watts with this device. So we can see right off the bat here, we might have a gold-plated 510 connection here. You can see it does say cloupor T5, as well as it has this raised ring here as well, or edge. On the bottom, we have our 3 screws, 1, 2, and 3, for removing the bottom plate and accessing the battery. We do have 2 vent holes as well as your charging port. Now, for the charging port, the USB wire that came with this device here, let me see if I have another device here. I have my IPv version 2 charging. This is the cable for the IPv2 micro USB. This is the one for cloupor's version. If I can get the camera to focus. There we go. You can see the size difference in the length of the USB charger. The reason for this is that the micro USB female end on the device is actually recessed pretty far down into this device. You can see that you're going to need that longer micro USB. Now, this cable here that came with the cloupor, which I will show you guys in the up and close, I have tried to use this cable on other devices. It doesn't work. It only works with the T5. As far as other cloupor products go, I don't own any, so I wasn't able to try it on any other cloupor devices. Now, I think I've gotten to all the details of the device. We'll go down to the up and close. We'll do an unboxing. We'll take it apart. We'll put a battery in it, and then we'll vape it. I will be throwing timestamps in the description of the video for those who don't, want to see the unboxing. They want to see, where the battery goes. But yeah, let's have a vape on this. So right now I am using my Mutation X, which I am testing right now for review, and the build I have in here is quite gnarly at the moment right here. It's quite black and crustied up, but all it is a split single coil. I'm not running dual coil in this right now. I'm vaping it at about 23.3 watts. I really do like this device. We can see on the OLED screen here at the top we have two battery indicators. We have a percentage, and we have the round circle with the bars is also a battery meter as well. As the battery depletes, those little bars around that flower or star disappear as your battery level gets lower. Below that is your wattage level, and also below that is your resistance of the atomizer you're using, and the voltage that the device is deeming appropriate for your resistance and wattage selection. Below that you can see a temperature gauge. The temperature gauge, as I do believe it, is for the temperature of the chipset or the board that is in this device. So I do assume that if that temperature gets too hot or if it's too cold, the device will automatically shut down. Underneath that, the PU is your puff counter. You can see that I am at 1618. I have reset it once since I got this device. It's been a couple weeks since I've had this device. Really been enjoying it. Scratchability factor is definitely high on this device. Not on the 6061 aluminum case, but on the tinted clear plastic plexi that is on the front of this. See if I can show you. You can kind of see the edging of where that clear tinted plastic or plexi starts and begins. Just on that edge there, and also there, and down there, and you have your nice sleek wattage up and down buttons. But you can, I don't know if you guys can make that out, but you know, it is a bit of a magnet for fingerprints and scratches as well. That is kind of a con for me, but it is a very good looking device. Now, when I first received this device, it was a lot smaller than what I originally thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be this some gigantic thing, like this is my hand torch right here. I thought it was going to be a bit bigger than that, but to tell you the truth, not really. Can actually grab my IPv version 2 or IPv2 version 2. This is the updated version. And you can see here, right there, it's just a tiny bit taller than the IPv itself, and maybe double the width. Yeah, about double the width. But give and take with this device. The size, yes, it's big, but the ergonomics of having a round device like this in your hand is very, very comfortable. It was the same thing with the ZNA clone. When holding the ZNA clone, it because of that rounded edge on the one side of the ZNA, it made it very comfortable to hold. Now, I did hold a Sigali 50 watt box mod the other day, and I don't know why they would even come up with a design like that. The box is, it's about the same size as the IPv2, but you can see on the IPv2 how the edges are beveled. Well, on the Sigali 50 watt, the edges are I'm going to say they're razor sharp. They're sharp edges, and the corners are pointy. Take someone's eye out or something. But very ergonomical to hold, if that's the right word for that. Just fits your hand really good. So, guys, let's have a vape on this. .3 watts. We'll go to the up and close, we'll have a look. But before that, I'd just like to say that some people that I've been talking to, owners of T5s, not all of them, I think I've had about 1 or 2 owners using eFest 18650 batteries. Their battery efficiency or battery life isn't what they thought it would be. It actually, they say it eats batteries. Mine is not like that. I do use purple eFest batteries in this. I do use AW batteries in this, as well as a VTC4 that I own. And I have not noticed any quick battery drain with this. Actually, the AW is by far the best performing battery that I put in here for longevity. Yeah, longevity for sure. The AW lasts the longest, even better than the VTC4. Maybe my VTC4, because I only own one of them and it is getting older, maybe the battery life just isn't there on the VTC4. But yeah, anyways, guys, let's go have an up close look at the cloupor T5. Alright guys, let's get up and close with this cloupor T5. This is going to be the unboxing section of this video, and after that we will be getting to the device itself. So we have cloupor T5, nice big 5 on the box. You can see wood grain. That's awesome. This is not wood, this is cardboard. See the side of the box, other side of the box. Got a little bit of certification, recycling information. You can see that this box is 100% post-consumer recycled paper. Top of the box, nothing. Bottom of the box, nothing. On the back of the box, we have all our information. Cloupor T5, patent pending. You can see that it has an OLED screen, takes 18650 batteries. Our ohms 0.2 to 3.6 ohms, 6061 aluminum, 50 watt device. I do believe that this is our output, so 2 volts all the way up to 9.3 volts, updated, which I will get to later. Reverse battery protection. Also, original and exclusive manufacturer is the Shenzhen Cloupor Technology Co. Made in China. We have an authenticity scratch card here as well. I have not tested this out. We also have our website link barcode there as well. Excuse me, I do call these barcodes because I do not know the actual name for those at the moment. So that's our that's our outside of our box for the cloupor T5. Now let's get inside the box. Lid is removed just like so. Nice foam insert. Inside our box we see our instruction manual. Now this instruction manual, out of most of the devices I do see, this instruction manual is very thorough. Lots of information inside of this. We'll go ahead and crack this open. You can see our schematic diagram for what everything on the OLED screen does, including the buttons. Flip it open again. Cloupor T5 mod billet. 6061 aluminum controlled battery pack with 510 connector. Chip is 100% designed by Cloupor. Variable watt battery pack that lets you control wattage, not voltage. Okay, I'll just let you guys, if you want, pause the video to read the rest of that. I will not be doing that. This one kind of catches me right here. I do live in Canada and it does go below. So is that mine? It says operating discharge temperature -10. Now is that just dash to 60 degrees above zero? Or -60. Not too sure. Pretty sure that's 60 degrees above zero. User guide, features and functions. The firm wire can be upgraded. Now that I'm kind of interested in. You can see on the other side here more instructions for our stealth mode, error messages, low power, more details on specifications of what this device can and cannot do. We have our dimensions of our device here as well. And their 90-day warranty. Alright, so that is our instruction manual. Also included with this is this card. So on September 16th, they will be releasing an update. Not too sure what this is. Mr. Vaping Greek seems to think it will be an upgrade from 50 to 100 watts. So inside our box we have a screwdriver, the Cloupor T5, the charging wire, and this little pill box here. And inside this pill box, which really surprised me, extra screws. So included in this kit, or these extra screws, they've included 4 extra 510 connection pin screws and 3 extra sets of screws for the battery or battery case. So we have our screwdriver, which has this nice pull tab on it, which just stays in the box. Very nice. Nice big screwdriver, none of these small little blue ones. We have our charging wire, micro USB to USB or USB to micro USB. If you have seen these before, it would have been with Cloupor's DNA 30 box mods. It just comes out like that. Have that, our screwdriver, and the device itself. The Cloupor T5. Inside the rest of the box, nothing much. You know, we've got tons and tons of inserts. I really do like how they package this box, or package the device. Very reassuring that you're getting your products safely. Getting close. So we have our T5, our charging cable, and a supplied screwdriver. So up and close with this device, we can see the top portion. We have Cloupor T5, what appears to be a gold-plated 510 connection with adjusting Phillips head connection screw, which you just simply adjust with the supplied screwdriver, which is nice. This is nice and big. None of these little blue ones. You can see on the top there we have a lip. You can see our front screen here as well. This is our 6061 billet aluminum. I do believe this is powder coated. Bottom of our device, we have 1, 2, 3 screws, 2 vent holes, micro USB, around the device again. You can see we have these lines here, both sides. Our front portion. Now I have been using this device for about 2 weeks. You can see the scratchability factor on this clear plastic tinted plexi. We have our buttons. Nice clicky buttons. Not too clicky. Just enough to get the job done. So we'll go ahead and activate the device, turn it on. 5 clicks on the fire button. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see our cloupor T5 logo with the matrix style opening screen. Now you can see our screen here. We've got on top our battery indicator, 2 battery indicators. We have our percentage and our it's almost like a flower or a star. When your battery starts to deplete, these bars around this inner circle will disappear as your battery depletes. We have our wattage level, we have our resistance, voltage. This here is the temperature of your chipset or the internals of the device. Here we have our puff counter, wattage down button. You can see it slowly scrolls, then speed scrolls. No round robin on this. All the way down to 7 watts, and again all the way up to 50. 50 watts. Fire button. Check atomizer, of course, because we have nothing on the device. Functions of the chip. I do believe pushing the fire button and the wattage down button. Normal mode, stealth mode, so that when you fire the device the screen does not turn on. Obviously it will turn on if you do not have an atomizer on there. Again, to turn that off, both buttons, stealth mode, normal mode. We have our screen back on. To lock the wattage, both wattage up and down buttons at the same time. Power locked. Again, to disable, both buttons at the same time. We are now back where we can adjust our wattage up and down. Now I do believe the fire button and the wattage up button at the same time will reset the puff counter back to 0. And that's about it for the functions of this cloupor chip. Not too sure exactly which kind of chip it is. I do suspect it is some kind of a Raptor chip type design. It could even be a Yeehee style chipset design. So that's our functions and our up close look at the T5. Alright, battery removal on the T5. On the bottom we have 1, 2, 3 screws. Simply remove the screws with a supplied screwdriver. I'll do this in real time so you guys can see exactly how long it takes to change a battery in this device. I like to place my thumb over the bottom cap of the battery tray because it is spring loaded. Also, I do have the device in the off position. So there you have it. That didn't take too long to remove the bottom cap. I am using the suggested VTC4. You can see in the bottom there we do have a spring-loaded positive connection, as well as connections or threaded holes for our screws, our charge port for micro USB, and I do believe, is that a light indicator? I don't think that is a light indicator there. You can see our bottom cap. Alright, now these are either copper plated or it's really hard to say. I'm not even sure if they're gold plated. I'm not sure. So we'll go ahead, reinsert our VTC4, positive side up. We'll replace our bottom cap. It only fits one way, so this is not too difficult to guess the position. Now the device does turn itself on when a connection is made. So we'll just go ahead and put our screws back in. Hand tight with the screws, and there we have it. Our device is already activated for us. So charging this device with our supplied USB to micro USB cable on our nice retracting device here. So the way, or I'll actually compare this micro USB to the one that came with the IPV. I did show this in the FaceTime. You can see how much bigger it is, or the length is much longer on this than it is on a regular micro USB. The reason for that is because that micro USB connection or female end is quite recessed in there. So what I do, plug it in, retract our USB, plug it in. You can see there it says full power when it is fully charged, and when it is charging it will say charging and it will be charging. We do not have any light indicators on the bottom to suggest that it is charging. Now charge time with a VTC4 and a purple eFest. About the same. It takes about 4 hours to charge a VTC4 and a purple eFest 18650, 35 amp eFest and a VTC4, 4 hours. 4 hours is about the general time for charging this device comparison to other devices. So what we have here is our 26650 King mod. We have our 18650 Cartel, and we have the IPv2. So as you can see, it's not much bigger than any of these devices. The 26650, the T5 does have a bit more girth on it. The 18650 and the IPv2. On to atomizers. This is the Aerotank Giant. That is the Aerotank Giant. So you can see this fits flush on a 26650 device. You can see even then it still has some room. Another 26650 atomizer, RDA, our Tobe. You can see there we still have some room. Our regular 22mm Tobe. The Fogger version 4.1. I do have the connection pin set quite high at the moment. 26650 battery. There you guys go. There's an up close personal look at the cloupor T5. Alright, there you guys go. We had an up close look at the cloupor T5 from cloupor. Let's have a vape and we'll discuss where and how much you can buy this for. Now, this product was not given to me for review. This was purchased with my own money. And I am very glad that I had purchased this device. I'm very happy with it. Now, where can you buy it? Where did I buy mine? I purchased mine through a contact through Skype. My contact through Skype was Maggie Hong, and Maggie Hong works for the Shenzhen Rainbow Tech Company. What did I pay for this device? Wholesale, I paid for this device, I paid $62 USD for wholesale. I purchased 2 of them through Maggie Hong. Now remember, that is USD. Now I live in Canada. The currency conversion to that is somewhere in the $70, almost $80 range per unit, plus shipping and DHL's customs, taxes, fees at the door. Brought 2 of these items up to about $189 Canadian. Now, I highly suggest you don't go that route. I always take a risk when I buy directly from China just because of warranty issues. If I ever have one of these items break, especially from a third party selling to me from another company, it is really hard to get these items returned and fixed. They always want a video, then they want you to spend the money to send the item back. This can be very costly. If you decide to purchase one of these devices, I highly suggest you look for them in a brick and mortar. The extra price you're going to pay to purchase one of these in a brick and mortar, the price should be somewhere around $100, $120. Anything more than $120, I suggest you shop elsewhere. You can get these at a reasonable price. Anything less than $120. The extra money that you're spending for buying at a brick and mortar comes with its benefits. I cannot stress this enough. It comes with its benefits. If this device breaks, that brick and mortar is responsible for replacing that device. You could have a new device within a day or two. You know what I mean? So it definitely pays to buy at a brick and mortar. devices, if you decide to buy one of these devices, please inspect it before you buy it. The box itself should come wrapped in cellophane, and you should see the scratch and, I want to call it a scratch and sniff, but it's a scratch and see code for authenticity on these devices. You'll know right away if you have a clone. They have already started cloning these, which is crazy. I don't know why, but on Alibaba you can find the clones, which is weird because they're only selling them for a fraction less than what they normally would sell for wholesale. You can tell right away you have a clone. The device is completely plastic. It's not made of the 6061 aluminum, billet aluminum. Right off the hop, whole thing's plastic. It's not aluminum. That is going to be the red flag for buying a clone. Guys, don't pay more than maybe 120 bucks for this unless you gotta have it, and it's sitting at about 130, 150 bucks and you gotta have it. Sure, go for it, but you can find a better deal somewhere else. Well, let's have another vape. This Aqua is good. I'm going to be doing a review on the Aqua. Very good. RTA. So, pros and cons to the Cloupor T5. Let's do cons first. So, the first con to this device is kind of a big one, but it didn't really stress me out. The second day in of having this device, this tinted plexi came off totally off the full device. Didn't fall off. I had to pry it off, but initially the top portion of the plexi had popped free of the device. That is con number one. The way that had happened was by using the fire button. Right beside the fire button you can see the edge of that plexi. My thumb had just grabbed the very edge of that, and I was kind of, you know, doing one of these with it, just fooling around with the edge, and I caught it and it went pop. So the top portion of this popped off. I just slowly removed the plexi from the device by slowly prying down both sides. It popped off. The reason I had discovered why it popped off was there just wasn't enough glue holding this down. So all I did was I took some 5-minute epoxy, mixed some up with one of these handy dentistry picks, and I scooped some up and just slowly applied a very small bead just around the edge of the inside of where the plexi sits, and just reapplied the plexi. No big deal. It wasn't a deal breaker for me. I know that it's on there solid now. This has happened to another owner of the T5 that I have talked to, not from the same group buy that I went through. Same thing happened. It popped loose. They went through the same thing. They just used some 5-minute epoxy, and that was without me even mentioning to them that I had used epoxy. They did the same thing. So that's con number one. Con number two, which I think is a big thing that manufacturers in China need to get over, which is the adjusting 510 connection in these devices. I'm not a big fan of the adjustment screw. I am a big fan of the Fat Daddy style spring-loaded 510s. So that's another con for me. I've even thought about maybe getting into this device and replacing that with a 510 Fat Daddy for spring-loaded, just so I can enjoy this device a little bit more, but that might be a little bit of work to get that done. Third con to this device, it does, depending on what battery you're using, it will drain it reasonably quick, but not really. I did notice that with the Purple E-Fest, the 30 amp Purple E-Fest, that it did eat that battery pretty quick, but with the VTC4s, it lasts a lifetime. It'll last a good day, and you'll have to charge it overnight. which I don't suggest you do. I suggest you always charge these devices while you can keep an eye on them. And I think that's about it for cons, other than you know, it's a fingerprint magnet, and the scratchability factor to the clear plexi is another con for me. The pros to this device: the way it fits in my hand is so comfortable, it doesn't even feel like it's there. I can vape on this all day. Compared to the Sigali 50-watt box, I could not hold that device all day. The edges are sharp, the corners are pointy. I couldn't do that all day. This device I could. It fits really nicely snug in my hand, just like the ZNA clone. So let's have another vape. The price point on these is really good, especially if the upgrade, which I have heard of it being the upgrade to 100 watts. If this upgrades to 100 watts, the price is awesome. Awesome price for a 100-watt device. So yeah, guys, that's my review on the cloupor T5. That's what I think of it. Guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend, week, month, whatever it may be. Go out and get yourselves a cloupor T5.